And we get to plant the DIY PVC low hoop frame for our circle beds. That was such an easy project, but now we get to fill it. Now, I'm gonna do a variety of things. I didn't start from seed because I was so busy. So before you plant, everything starts in here. These need some fertilization, and I want a high nitrogen or an equal nitrogen because I'm going for leafy greens. I'm not going for blooms or fruit. I guess in the broccoli it's like a fruit. So I'm doing the Schultz, and remember, when it's edible, go for organic and something that's made for food that you could eat, vegetables. So I did the Schultz of 20-20-20, and I have 2 pots filled, and basically I'm going to soak them in here and basically let them sit for a good hour before they even go out. So see how root bound that is? That is really root bound. Yeah, so that's basically it. Now, I'm going to do the lettuces, and this is the red lettuce. I'm not going to put that in yet because I have some ornamental kale. I have a container for the fall planting. You know how you always do the containers. Check my last year's video. And you could use edibles in there. So this will ultimately end up in the bed, but not yet. Now, cilantro. Cilantro is such a good plant for the winter. Mine has lasted on its own outside. Every once in a while I cover it. Now it stops growing, but you could still harvest. Now, the other wonderful thing is Swiss chard. Not only is it beautiful, but it can handle the cold temperatures. Now remember, a hoop house will protect it from the winds, which is, I mean, bitter cold winds is what really does it, and also the frost. So these normally would make it through October, maybe November, depending where you're at, and basically that's it. I'm hoping these will go through December. Now, unless we have an abnormal below 10, but most cold weather vegetables can go down to the 20s, some to the 10s. Okay, oh, and I forgot the tag. Kale, you have to have kale. Russian kale and stuff will handle all the way down to 10. Sometimes it's a perennial in zones 5. Now, this is beautiful. The bok choy, I always say that wrong, and a mixture of stuff. This isn't going to go in there yet. It will, but this is going to go into that container I'm talking about. Now, I used to have rosemary grown in the ground. It was taller than me in the old farm in one of the conservatories. And I thought about putting it in there because when I go to Tulsa, I always go to the gathering place and check their plants out. And rosemary survives there. They're one zone. So I'm going back and forth if I want to try it or not. Now, the other thing that's going to go into here around the around the circle is radishes and beets. They're perfect. But it's also a great time to start your garlic in there too. So these are going to soak, and then we're going to take them outside. So everybody have a quick cup of coffee. I know I am. Okay, when planting the garden, you want to put, the sun comes this way. As you see, the sun's about to hit me. And I put it by the shed here. That way it gets a break from the cold. But you want the tall plants in the back here. So to me, the kale is always always the one. And I got a different varieties. This is the Prism. And so supposedly it could handle it better than the Russian kale, which I have Russian kale planted somewhere else. So I'm kind of curious to see how it goes. So that's going to be kind of center stage right here. And just put it, the root ball, right level with the ground. Now also the Swiss Chard, and these are the lights. I always grow this one, bright lights. I love the look of these. So I'm kind of flanking these on the side, and that way, you know, you want everybody to get the sun, basically. That's the whole ideal. Plus, it'll be beautiful. Now, these have like all the different colors, which is really cool. Okay, so this is flanked on this side. Okay. The next one, and I've never grown this broccoli. This is called the Artwork. And it also gets really large. So I'm going to kind of put it on the side here so as the sun comes, it doesn't block everybody else. Oh, maybe a little deeper. I brought gloves, and do I put them on? No. Okay, in between all these, I have garlic. Garlic is great. It's going to grow and you'll be able to eat it, but also it helps with any insects. Although in the winter you would hope you wouldn't have too many. But I consume an incredible amount of garlic. So I always put it around any of the lettuces and anything else. Now, I'm going to leave room for the lettuce right here, I guess right here. And then I'm going to pop the cilantro right here because it's low growing. Now cilantro, I'll probably harvest this pretty quickly. And basically all I do is cut the tops off and I freeze it or dry it. And that way you have an endless supply because you want to get the most out of this. Okay, that is just so simple. The last thing I have is the tape. I don't know if you remember, Stefan did the seed tape. I mean, he loved that video. Okay, so I'm putting some beets in, and I'm gonna get the white radishes. I think I want the white seeds. So all I'm doing is just putting a couple here. And then you just water it in. Okay, and that's it. I'm getting closer because the sun's coming out. Maybe I might come over here so you could see it. But it's really beautiful. That was so easy. The biggest part was soaking it. And so, let me go in so I show you the rest of the stuff. Okay, we're in. That sun was brutal. I mean, I'm telling you, it's getting worse. Okay, as you know, I did not plant my salads, my lettuces, red salad, and also my, it's a mix of bok choy and mustard greens and everything else. Ultimately, they will go into that garden or another bed I'll do. But this next video is planting a galvanized bucket. And I'm thinking, why can't we have some edibles in there? And as we pull stuff out as it goes, I could put those back in the garden. So I have the mums, but I mean, really, it would look great. I mean, we have the ornamental kale too, which by the way is edible, just doesn't taste as good. It's not sweet. So I'm gonna do the next video on using some of the lettuces that will go to that garden to do the galvanized bucket. So I might even work on that today. So this is Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm. Plant your cold weather veggies. It would be great to eat fresh all year if you can. Have a great day.